My girlfriend announced at dinner, "I deliberately scared your mom earlier because she disrespected me. My mom has a heart condition." I said, "What did you do?" Then she bragged about jumping out and screaming at her. When I called 911 because mom was having chest pains and had my girlfriend escorted out by police. I, 29 male, was having dinner with my girlfriend at this Italian place we go to sometimes. Been together about 18 months. Things were decent, you know? She had her moments where she'd get worked up over small stuff, but I figured everyone has quirks. We're halfway through our entrees when she gets this look on her face, like she's about to tell me she won big on a scratch-off or something. So I took care of that situation with your mom today. I looked up from my plate. What situation? The disrespect. I handled it. Okay, context. My mom's been living with me for 6 months now. She had a heart attack last year, needed stents, whole 9 yards. Her cardiologist has been super clear that stress is basically her kryptonite. One spike in blood pressure or heart rate, and we could be looking at another cardiac event. She's on like 5 different medications and has to keep everything calm. My girlfriend knew all of this. We'd talked about it multiple times. What are you talking about? She leaned back, looking way too proud of herself. Your mom's been making these passive-aggressive comments all week. How I load the dishwasher wrong, how I organize the pantry wrong, acting like she owns the place. She lives there, I said. And what did you do exactly? Okay, so you know how she takes that walk every afternoon? Goes around the block, same time every day? Well, today I hid in the bushes by the front steps. When she came back up, I jumped out and screamed right in her face. Everything just stopped. You did what? I jumped out and screamed at her, really loud, right in her face. She needed to learn I'm not someone to mess with. God, you should have seen her face. She almost fell backwards. It was perfect. I was already standing up, throwing bills on the table. Didn't even count them. We need to go now. What? Why? We haven't had dessert. My mom has a heart condition. You know this. You just told me you deliberately scared someone with a serious heart condition. Eye roll. Actual eye roll. Oh my God, she's fine. She went inside after. Stop being dramatic. I was already outside calling my mom. Took her a few rings to pick up and her voice sounded off. Hey honey. Mom, are you okay? What happened this afternoon? Long pause. I'm feeling a bit strange. Some pressure in my chest. It's probably nothing. Did you take your nitroglycerin? Not yet. I was just about to. Don't cut your dinner short. I'm fine. I'm already in the car. If it gets worse at all, you call 911. I'll be there soon. My girlfriend caught up in the parking lot. Are you seriously leaving me here? Get an Uber. Don't come to my house. Excuse me? That's my home too. No, it's not. Your name isn't on anything. You crash there sometimes. Big difference. I drove off while she was mid-sentence. Got home to find my mom on the couch, pale, one hand on her chest. The nitro bottle was sitting on the coffee table, but she hadn't taken any yet. How bad? It's pressure, like something heavy on my chest. Started maybe half an hour ago. Called 911 right there. Gave them everything. Address, her cardiac history, current symptoms. Mom, what exactly happened this afternoon? She took a shaky breath. I came back from my walk, and your girlfriend jumped out from the bushes screaming at the top of her lungs. I thought I was dying right there on the steps. My chest clamped up immediately. I made it inside and sat down hoping it would pass. Paramedics showed up pretty quick, did vitals, EKG on the couch, blood pressure was way up, heart rhythm was off. They wanted to transport her for monitoring. I went in the ambulance with her. Sent my girlfriend a text. Mom's being transported to the hospital. You deliberately caused a cardiac episode. Don't contact me. Her response was instant. OMG, you are such a drama queen. She's fine. This is typical manipulation from her. Can't believe you're falling for this. Blocked her number. At the hospital they admitted my mom for observation. With her history they weren't taking chances. Adjusted her meds, ran a bunch of tests, kept her overnight. I camped out in the chair next to her bed. Late that night there was yelling in the hallway. My girlfriend had showed up at the ER demanding to see me. Security ended up involved. She was going off about how I'd abandoned her at dinner, how this was all fake, how my mom was attention-seeking. One of the nurses came in. Is that woman family? No, she's my ex as of tonight. She's the reason my mom is here. She deliberately scared her knowing about her heart condition. The nurse's whole face changed. Does security need to remove her? Please. Could hear her screaming all the way down the hall. You'll regret this. I didn't do anything wrong. Your mom disrespected me. The ER doctor came in after she was gone. Couldn't help but hear that. Did someone intentionally startle your mother? Knowing about her cardiac condition? Yeah. My girlfriend told me at dinner. Said she hid in the bushes and jumped out screaming at her to teach her a lesson. His jaw tightened. That's assault. Maybe worse. You should file a police report. Update 1. Mom got released the next day. Her cardiologist added another med to her routine, told her to take it super easy for a few weeks, and wrote up detailed notes about what happened. I went straight to the police station and filed a report. Laid out everything: mom's heart condition, girlfriend's deliberate actions, the hospital stay. The cop took it seriously, especially when I showed him the texts where she'd bragged about it and then called my mom manipulative. This could be assault or reckless endangerment, maybe both. We'll send it to the DA. Meanwhile, my phone was exploding with messages from her friends. She'd posted on social media about being victimized by her boyfriend's controlling mother. Her version had zero mention of deliberately scaring someone with a medical condition. Just poor her, standing up for herself, now being punished. Her best friend actually called me. You need to fix this situation. She's devastated. You humiliated her in public, abandoned her at a restaurant, had her thrown out of a hospital. What's your problem? She hid in bushes and jumped out screaming at my mom, who has a documented heart condition. My mom ended up in the ER overnight. What part of that is okay? She was just messing around. Your mom's being dramatic. My mom needed cardiac monitoring. That's not dramatic. Tell your friend she's lucky if assault charges are all she gets. Hung up on her. Then her mother called. I'd met this woman maybe twice. My daughter says you've been abusive this whole relationship and your mother's been turning you against her. Ma'am, your daughter intentionally scared my mother, who has a serious heart condition, badly enough to send her to the ER. Then showed up at the hospital screaming and got removed by security. There's a police report. These are documented facts. She told me your mother was being passive-aggressive and disrespectful in your home. It's my home, my name on the deed. My mom lives with me recovering from a heart attack. Your daughter stays over sometimes. And even if my mom was rude, which she wasn't, that doesn't make it okay to deliberately trigger a cardiac event. You're twisting her words. She would never. Police report and hospital records say otherwise. Tell her to stop contacting me. Blocked that number too. Couple days later, my apartment complex called. My girlfriend had shown up saying she lived there and needed a key because her abusive boyfriend locked her out. The manager knew what was up. I told her only you're on the lease. She started screaming about tenant rights. I had to threaten police before she'd leave. If she comes back, go ahead and call them. She's not welcome. Then she really went off the rails. Filed a restraining order against ME. Claimed I was harassing her, threatening her, that she feared for her safety. Wanted the court to order me to stay away from her and stop using my mother against her. Got served with papers for a hearing. My lawyer, same guy who did my house closing, almost laughed. She assaulted your mother and now claims she needs protection from you? This is going to backfire hard. The DA's office called me in for a statement. The assistant DA reviewed everything. Medical records, texts, the 911 recording. So your girlfriend admitted to deliberately startling someone she knew had a heart condition. That person needed emergency medical treatment, and then she showed up at the hospital to keep harassing you? Correct. And now she filed for a restraining order against you? Yep. She actually smiled. We're prosecuting this. Reckless endangerment minimum. Her restraining order hearing should be entertaining. Update 2. The restraining order hearing was a train wreck. For her, she showed up with her mom and best friend, all dressed up like they were going to a funeral, really playing the victim hard. Her petition said I was controlling and abusive, that I'd isolated her from everyone, that I'd threatened her after a minor disagreement with my mother. When she testified, she went full performance mode. Tears, shaking voice, everything. He completely changed when his mother moved in, got cold and mean. When I tried to set boundaries, he went crazy. The judge looked unimpressed. What boundaries? I asked his mother to respect that it was my home too. She kept criticizing me. I finally confronted her. How did you confront her? And here's where she messed up. She knew the police report existed. I told her she needed to respect me. Just talking? Pause. I might have raised my voice. Anything else? I maybe startled her a little bit. Judge put down his pen. How? When she came back from a walk, I was outside and said something, and she got scared. It was an accident. My lawyer stood up. Your Honor, I have evidence. Submitted the texts where she bragged about hiding and jumping out screaming. The 911 recording, ER records, my mom's cardiologist letter explaining how stress could literally kill her. The judge's expression went from bored to pissed as he read through it. Ma'am, you texted that you hid in the bushes and jumped out screaming at his mother. You bragged about scaring her, then called her manipulative when she ended up in the emergency room. This petition is denied, and I'm sending everything to the district attorney. Her lawyer looked like he wanted to die, but she kept going. That's not what happened. He's lying. His mother is faking. We're done here, the judge cut her off. Petition denied. Next case. Outside, her mom started in again. You manipulated that judge. You did this on purpose. I submitted evidence. That's called facts. My lawyer stepped between us. Ma'am, your daughter's own text messages prove deliberate actions that caused a medical emergency. I suggest you stop harassing my client before you join her in facing charges. They left. Best friend filming me on her phone like that would help. Criminal charges came through about a week later. Reckless endangerment. The DA said they could have done assault, but reckless endangerment was cleaner with the medical evidence. She had to turn herself in, got arraigned, posted bail. The harassment stopped after that. Her lawyer probably told her to shut up. But the entitlement kicked into overdrive. Started a whole fundraiser online claiming she was facing false charges from her abusive ex and needed legal fees. Spun this story about being persecuted for standing up to a toxic man and his manipulative mother. Got some donations until someone posted the actual police report and court docs in the comments. Fundraiser got nuked. Her job found out about the charges. She worked at a senior living facility. They suspended her immediately because she deliberately endangered an elderly person with a heart condition. She started calling from random numbers. Same script every time. This wasn't fair. She didn't mean for anything bad to happen. Couldn't I just make it go away? I can't drop criminal charges. The state is prosecuting. But you could tell them it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. You planned it and bragged about it. She ended up hospitalized. Those are facts. I was just trying to set boundaries. By hiding in bushes and terrorizing someone with a heart condition, that's not boundaries. That's assault. You're ruining my life over nothing. You endangered my mother because she commented on the dishwasher. This is consequences. Blocked that number. Her best friend tried showing up at my place. I didn't answer, but my camera got everything. We know you're home. You need to drop this. She's losing everything because of you. Just tell the DA it was a misunderstanding. Called the cops. They showed up, saw the footage, told her she was trespassing. She tried arguing she was helping her friend. Your friend is facing charges for endangering someone. Harassing the victims doesn't help. Leave or get arrested. She left screaming about how we'd get what we deserve. More footage for the file. Final update. Trial happened about 4 months after everything started. Not dramatic like TV. Pretty straightforward. Prosecution showed the evidence. Texts admitting she hid and jumped out, 911 call, ER records, mom's medical history, cardiologist testimony about how her condition makes stress potentially fatal. Her defense tried arguing she didn't intend harm, just wanted to startle my mom a bit to make a point. Prosecutor shut it down. The defendant knew the victim had a serious heart condition. She planned and executed an action designed to cause fear and shock. The resulting medical emergency was foreseeable. My mom had to testify. That sucked to watch. She described the terror, the immediate chest pain, thinking she was dying. I testified about the dinner, how proud my girlfriend seemed, how she kept harassing us after. Jury was out, maybe 3 hours. Guilty on reckless endangerment. Sentencing took a few more weeks. 2 years probation, 200 hours community service, anger management classes, 5-year restraining order, and restitution for medical bills, about $8,000 after insurance. Her lawyer begged for mercy, said she was young and made a mistake. Judge wasn't having it. The defendant admitted to premeditated actions targeting someone with a known medical vulnerability. She showed no remorse. She harassed the victims, lied in court, tried to profit from playing victim. This wasn't a mistake. This was deliberate endangerment followed by sustained harassment. She cried in court. Her mom wailed about injustice. Judge ignored them, lost her job at the senior facility. Conviction meant she can't work with vulnerable people anymore. Heard she moved back with her parents. Still posts online about being wrongfully convicted and how the system failed her. Zero accountability. Still the victim in her own mind. Mom's doing way better now. Her cardiologist is happy with her progress. We moved to a new place a while back. Fresh start, better security, no more Bush-related trauma. I'm good too. Still wrapping my head around how someone I dated for a year and a half could do something so reckless and feel nothing about it. The complete lack of empathy was terrifying. Started seeing someone new recently. Took it slow. She met my mom early, casual coffee shop thing. They got along great. No drama, no territorial nonsense, no guerrilla warfare. It's wild how peaceful things are when you're not dating someone who thinks terrorizing your elderly mother is appropriate conflict resolution. Restraining order's good for 5 years. By then it won't matter, because I never want to see her again anyway. People ask if I feel bad about ruining her life. Nope. She chose to do something dangerous to someone vulnerable. Bragged about it, harassed us, lied in court, tried to profit off fake victimhood. Every consequence came from her own choices. My only regret is not catching the red flags earlier. The drama over small things, always needing to be right, can't handle any criticism. All there, I just ignored it because things were mostly fine. Lesson learned. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. When someone deliberately hurts your family, no forgiveness, no second chances, no understanding. Protect your family. Pursue consequences. Move forward. That's the whole story. If you're dealing with something similar, document everything, file reports, follow through. People who endanger others need to face real consequences. Don't let anyone guilt you into downplaying abuse. My mom is safe. That's what matters. Everything else is just paperwork. My girlfriend left her laptop open with a document titled, Our Future, 5-Year Plan. I clicked it. It detailed how she'd get pregnant, accidentally, move into my house, then divorce me for alimony after 3 years. I said nothing, just forwarded it to my lawyer. When she found out her secret plan was now evidence in a restraining order, I, 32 male, still can't believe I'm typing this out. Part of me wants to pretend it never happened. But honestly, writing this feels therapeutic, or whatever. So, I work from home most days doing software consulting. My girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, let's be real, had been living with me for about 8 months. We'd been together almost 2 years total. Normal relationship stuff. She'd complain about her job at the dental office. I'd complain about difficult clients. We'd order too much takeout and binge whatever show everyone was talking about. She left for work one morning and forgot her laptop on the kitchen table. Screen was still on. I was grabbing coffee and saw this document open on her screen. Our Future, 5-Year Plan.x. Kinda sweet, right? I figured maybe she was planning surprise vacation ideas or wedding Pinterest boards or something. We'd talked about marriage in that vague someday way couples do. I clicked it. What I saw made me feel physically sick. It wasn't a cute future plan. It was a step-by-step guide to trapping me, like bullet points and everything. She had embedded spreadsheets. The plan basically went, stop taking birth control without telling me. Get pregnant accidentally within 6 months. She literally wrote that I think she's still on the pill and to act surprised and emotional when it happens. Move fully into my house and establish legal residence. She'd already done this part and had a little checkmark next to it. Use the pregnancy to stop working or work less. He'll cover everything because he's responsible like that. Her words. Have the baby. Take extended maternity leave, maybe quit entirely. He makes $140,000, he can handle it. File for divorce around year 3. Cite me being a workaholic or irreconcilable differences. She noted that family courts favor mothers, so custody would be easy. The end goal? Child support around $2,000 per month based on my income. Alimony for a few years because she sacrificed her career. Force a house sale or buyout because she'd be entitled to half the equity if we were married when she filed, even though I bought the place 3 years before I even met her. Her actual words at the bottom: financial security for me and baby. Eventual freedom to live my life. He's stable and boring, but that's what makes this work. There was more too. Notes about which friends would back her story about me being distant or unsupportive. Reminders to document every argument we had. She'd taken screenshots of my banking app when I'd left my phone unlocked once, my savings, my retirement accounts, all of it. This wasn't some random thought. She'd been planning this for months. I sat there staring at the screen. My hands were shaking, but my brain went into this weird calm mode. Like autopilot. I forwarded the whole document to my personal email. Then I sent it to my lawyer, same guy who handled my house purchase. Texted him, need to talk, ASAP, urgent. Then I took photos. The document open on her screen. The file properties showing it was last modified 4 days ago. Her logged-in user account visible. Just covered every base I could think of. Closed the laptop, left it exactly where she'd left it. Went to my office and worked like it was just another day. She came home that evening all happy and chatty. Talked about some difficult patient, asked what I wanted for dinner. I said pizza was fine. We ordered pizza. We ate. We watched TV. I didn't say a word about what I'd found. My lawyer called the next morning while she was at work. This is pretty damning evidence if she ever tries anything legal, he said. Have you confronted her yet? No. Good. Don't. Not yet. Let me think about how to handle this strategically. First question. Are you two married? No, she lives here but it's my house. I bought it 3 years before we met. Excellent. Is her name on any accounts or assets? No. Everything's separate. She Venmos me like $400 a month for her share of groceries and utilities. Even better. Here's what we should do. Update 1. The lawyer laid out a game plan. The goal wasn't revenge or anything dramatic. Just protect myself legally and make sure her little scheme never had a chance of working. First thing, document everything going forward. I started keeping notes. When she got home, conversations we had, anything weird. Saved every Venmo payment she sent. Even took a photo of her birth control pills in the medicine cabinet. Still full, still taking them apparently. Guess she hadn't started phase 1 of the plan yet. Second, locked down my assets before she could claim anything. My lawyer drafted this cohabitation agreement. Basically spelled out that we were dating and living together but not married, not common law, nothing. My house was mine. My money was mine. She had no legal claim to anything except her personal stuff. I printed it out and left it on the table one morning with a sticky note. Hey babe, my financial advisor suggested we both sign this for legal protection since you're living here. Standard stuff for couples who live together. No big deal, but covers us both if anything happens. Love you. She signed it that same day. Didn't even read it carefully. Just texted me a photo of her signature with a bunch of heart emojis. Third part of the plan was trickier. I needed to kill her scheme without revealing I knew about it. Waited until the weekend. She was in a great mood. We were just hanging out on the couch. She was scrolling Instagram. I was pretending to watch whatever was on TV. Random question, I said. Do you see us getting married someday? She looked up and smiled big. Of course, when the time's right. Why? You thinking about it? Yeah, I've been thinking about the future a lot lately. Our future, kids, timeline, all that stuff. Her eyes literally lit up. She probably thought her plan was working perfectly. I actually need to be honest with you about something, I said. I don't think I want kids. Like ever. I've been thinking about getting a vasectomy. The smile froze on her face. What? I know we haven't really talked about it seriously, but the more I think about my life, the more I realize I'm happy with things as they are. My career, my freedom, just you and me. A kid would change everything, and I don't want that change. I'm looking into scheduling a consultation. She just stared at me. I could literally see her brain recalculating. Her entire plan needed a baby. No baby meant no child support, no custody leverage. No, I gave up my career for our family story. You can't be serious right now. I am serious. Is that a deal breaker for you? Because I'd understand if it is. I need to think about this, she said quietly. Of course. Take whatever time you need. Just wanted to be upfront about it. She barely spoke to me the rest of the weekend. Went to bed early. Spent a lot of time on her phone in the other room. That Monday, she texted me from work. I think we need to talk about where this relationship is going. Maybe I should move back to my apartment for a while. Thing is, her lease had ended months ago. She'd sublet her old place to someone else. She had nowhere to go except her parents' place 3 hours away or couch surfing with friends. I texted back, if that's what you need, I understand. Take whatever time you need to figure things out. Update 2, she didn't move out. Instead, she tried to change my mind. First came the tears. Lots of crying about how she'd always dreamed of being a mom. How she thought we were building a future together. How devastated she was that I'd make such a huge decision without thinking about her feelings. I stayed calm every time. I understand you're disappointed. That's exactly why I wanted to tell you now, instead of wasting more of your time if kids are a deal breaker for you. Then she got angry. Started accusing me of leading her on and wasting 2 years of her life. Called me selfish and immature for not wanting to grow up and be a real man. I just let her vent. Didn't argue back. Just kept saying, I'm sorry you feel that way over and over. Then she switched to bargaining. What if we just had just one kid? I'd do all the work, you'd barely have to help. Huge red flag, but I just shook my head. I've made my decision. If that doesn't align with what you want from life, I totally get it. Maybe we should end things so you can find someone who wants the same future. That's when things got nasty. She stopped paying her share of expenses. When I asked about it, she said, you make way more than me anyway. You can afford it. Besides, I'm saving up to move out since you're basically kicking me out. I never asked her to leave. Never said she had to go. But sure, make me the bad guy. Caught her going through my file cabinet one night. When I asked what she was doing, she claimed she was looking for a phone charger in a locked filing cabinet. Right. She started treating my house like a hotel. Dishes piled up everywhere, laundry all over the place, messes in every room. When I asked her to clean up after herself, she'd snap, well, you're the one who wants me gone anyway, so what do you care? I took photos of all of it. Documented dates and times. Then her mom called me out of nowhere. What is going on with you two? My daughter is absolutely devastated. She thought you were going to propose, and now you're throwing her out on the street? Ma'am, I'm not throwing anyone out. I was honest about not wanting children, and she's processing that information. She's welcome to stay as long as she needs, while she figures out her next steps. You led her on. She gave up her apartment to move in with you. She chose to end her lease. I never asked her to do that. You are a cold, heartless person. My daughter deserves so much better than you. She probably does deserve better. Which is why I think it's best if we go our separate ways. Her mom sputtered something and hung up on me. Couple days later, her best friend showed up at my house. Just knocked on the door, and when I answered, she pushed right past me inside. We need to talk about what you're doing to her. Excuse me? She is miserable, crying every single day. You tell her you love her. You move her into your house, and then you just randomly decide you don't want the same things anymore? That's manipulative as hell. I was honest about where I stand on having kids. She's free to make her own choices based on that information. You're manipulating her. You know she has nowhere else to go. You're making her feel trapped. She's a grown woman with a full-time job and her own income. She's choosing to stay here. I'm not forcing anything. The friend got right in my face. You're going to regret this. She could take you for everything you have. You know that, right? And there it was. The real reason for the friendly visit. Testing me to see if I knew about her rights. I smiled. We have a signed cohabitation agreement clearly stating she has no claim to my property or assets, and we're not married, so there's no alimony situation. But I appreciate your concern. Her face went completely white. You made her sign something? I asked her to sign a standard legal document that accurately reflects our relationship status. She signed it willingly without any pressure. She left without saying another word. That same night, my girlfriend confronted me. Did you trick me into signing away my rights? You signed a document that accurately describes our situation. You're not my wife. This isn't your house. You have no legal claim to my property or income. That's just reality. I could still sue you. For what exactly? She didn't have an answer for that. I think it's time for you to move out, I said. You have 30 days. That's more than fair. She absolutely lost it, screaming about how I'd used her, how I was heartless, how she'd given me the best years of her life, and I was throwing her away like garbage. I didn't engage, just walked to my office and locked the door. The next morning, the laptop was gone from the kitchen table. Final update. The last couple weeks were absolutely insane. But it's finally over. After I told her she needed to move out, she went totally scorched earth on me. Started telling everyone who would listen that I'd been financially abusing her, that I was forcing her to pay rent to live in our house while controlling all her money. The works. Some mutual friends reached out asking what was happening. I kept it simple. We're breaking up because we want different things from life. I've asked her to move out with plenty of notice. That's all I'm comfortable discussing. Most people got it and stayed neutral. A few took her side. Whatever. She tried claiming tenants' rights. Had some paralegal friends send me this letter saying I couldn't just kick her out and she was entitled to at least 60 days' notice. My lawyer sent back a response with the cohabitation agreement she'd signed, which clearly stated she was a month-to-month occupant and could be asked to leave with 30 days' notice. Also pointed out I hadn't even filed formal eviction paperwork, just asked her to leave voluntarily. The paralegal never responded after that. Then she completely switched tactics, started being super affectionate again, apologizing for overreacting about the whole kids thing. Said she'd been thinking and maybe she didn't actually need to be a mom. Maybe we could just get a dog instead. I wasn't buying it for a second. Told her nothing had changed and she still needed to be out by the deadline. That's when I got a call from the police. Apparently she'd filed a report claiming I'd stolen her laptop and she wanted it back. The cop who called sounded completely bored with the whole thing. Sir, your girlfriend is saying you took her computer. Is that true? No, officer. She took it herself a while back. It was in the kitchen, and then it wasn't. I assumed she'd moved it to her room or taken it to work. She's claiming you admitted to going through it and reading her private documents without permission. My heart rate kicked up, but I kept my voice steady. I saw a document that was already open on the screen when she left it on our kitchen table. I didn't go digging through her files or access anything that wasn't already displayed. All right. Well, it's a civil matter anyway. She'd need to take you to court if she thinks you did something wrong. Have a good one. That was close. She was fishing to see if I'd admit to seeing her plan. Few days later, she showed up with her dad and brother. They had a U-Haul. Her dad was pretty civil about it. We're just here to get her things. No problem. Let me know if you need help with anything. They loaded up all her furniture, clothes, everything. She didn't say a single word to me the entire time. Just shot me death glares while her dad and brother did all the heavy lifting. As they were wrapping up, her brother pulled me aside. Hey man, I don't know what happened with you two, but she's been acting really strange lately. Just watch your back, all right? I appreciate the heads up. She keeps talking about suing you or getting lawyers involved, says you owe her money for the time she lived here. I tried telling her that's not how breakups work, but she's not listening to anyone right now. I've got a lawyer handling things if she tries anything. But thanks for the warning. He nodded, and they left. She came back a few days after that. I was actually out but saw her on my doorbell camera. She was trying to use her old key in the lock. Obviously didn't work since I'd changed the locks right after she moved out. She pounded on the door for a while. Started yelling about me being a coward and a liar. Then she left. I sent the footage to my lawyer with a note, just documenting in case we need it. About a week later, she actually showed up at my office. I work from home mostly, but go in for meetings sometimes. She must have been tracking my location somehow, probably through the Google Maps sharing thing we'd set up forever ago that I forgot to turn off. She cornered me in the parking lot as I was leaving. We need to talk right now. No, we really don't. Please leave me alone. You ruined my life. I gave up everything for you. You didn't give up anything. You ended a lease, which was your own choice. Now please leave before I call security. You're going to regret this. I have proof you emotionally abused me. I have texts. I have witnesses. I'm going to destroy your reputation." That was it. I pulled out my phone and called my lawyer right there in front of her. "She's here at my workplace threatening me," I said calmly. "Harassment and defamation threats." She tried to grab my phone out of my hand. I stepped back. "Are you recording me?" "No, I'm on the phone with my attorney." She literally ran to her car and peeled out of the parking lot. My lawyer filed for a temporary restraining order that afternoon. We had the doorbell footage of her trying to get in the house. We had the parking lot incident. We had screenshots of threatening texts her friend had sent about taking me for everything. The hearing was pretty quick. She showed up with her mom and that paralegal friend. The judge went through all the evidence. The threats, showing up at my workplace, trying to get into my house after moving out. "Ma'am, did you go to his place of work?" "I just wanted to talk to him. He won't answer any of my calls or texts." "Did you attempt to enter his residence after you'd already moved out?" "I left some of my things there. I was just checking on them." With a key that no longer worked, suggesting you were aware you were no longer welcome at the property. She didn't have a response to that. Judge granted the restraining order. 500 feet from me, my home, and my workplace for 1 year. Her mom started crying in the courtroom. Told the judge I was ruining her daughter's life over just a breakup. The judge was not having it. "Ma'am, your daughter engaged in harassment and made explicit threats. This isn't about a breakup. This order is for the petitioner's protection and safety." As we were leaving the courthouse, the paralegal friend caught up with me in the hallway. "You know, she's gonna fight this, right? She's already talked to some lawyers about palimony." "Good luck with that. We dated less than 2 years, never got married, she signed a cohabitation agreement, and she has her own job and income. There's no case there. She's gonna make your life a living hell. She's legally required to stay 500 feet away from me. So actually, no, she's really not." That was about a week ago. Haven't heard from her since. Changed my phone number, blocked her on every platform I could think of, turned off all location sharing. My house feels peaceful again. I'm sleeping better. Work is back to normal productivity. Did I feel guilty? Yeah, a little bit at first. 2 years is 2 years. We had some genuinely good times together. But then I think about that document, the spreadsheets, the cold, calculated plan to trap me with a pregnancy and drain me financially for years. She never loved me. She loved what I could provide. The stability, the $140K salary, the house, the comfortable lifestyle. I was never a person to her, just a resource to be exploited. My lawyer kept copies of that document as evidence in case she ever tries to file anything. It's all certified and dated. If she goes for palimony or makes any legal claims, he'll submit it to show premeditation and bad faith. That vasectomy I mentioned? That was originally just a test to see her reaction. But honestly, I actually went through with it last week. Figured it's good insurance at this point. My brother asked me if I felt like I dodged a bullet. More like I dodged a tactical nuke. To anyone reading this, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. And protect yourself legally before things fall apart. I'm doing okay now. Started seeing a therapist to process the whole betrayal thing, which has actually helped a lot. Got back into some hobbies I'd dropped while we were together. Even grabbed coffee with someone from a friend's game night last weekend. Nothing serious, just nice to feel normal again. Life goes on. And it goes on way better without someone actively plotting to exploit you. I know some people might think I was too cold or harsh about how I handled everything. But she literally wrote out a detailed plan to baby trap me, fake marital problems, take half my house, and extract thousands per month from me for years while living her free life. I responded by being honest about my boundaries, protecting my assets, and getting legal protection when she started harassing me. I'll sleep just fine with that. Stay safe out there, and maybe don't leave your evil plans open on your laptop.